Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be going over a real quick my personal opinion, once again, my personal opinion on the Maplestory class tier. And before I start, I just wanted to say sorry for the lack of content recently. Um, I've really been focusing on my Adele in the regular servers. It's currently level 252, and I've pretty much just been busy training it and doing other stuff with real life, work, school, etc., etc. So I haven't really had time to keep up with the reboot progression, but do not fear. Once things are starting to calm down, I will be returning back to my Demon Slayers progression series. Um, if y'all don't remember where we left off, we were pretty much like at the bare minimum, I want to say, to solo CRA. I have actually tried it with Legion and with Link skills, and I was pretty close to finishing off CPR, which is the first of or one of the four bosses. Um, but yeah, I think the plans from here on out is once things start to calm down, I'm gonna get back into like the daily grind, just so I can farm mesos to cube the last few bit of items to get the stat needed to kill the bosses. But without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and start off with a class tier list, and I'm just going to go from, these classes from left to right and then top to bottom. But I don't really like these ranks, so let's give them our own custom names. So if we're going to start here, D, the worst possible rank. His name who? Um, S rank, obviously the best. Um, let's say GG. Um, A rank, close enough. And we got B, it's gonna be our link mules. C, don't even bother. But yeah, we're gonna start off with Adele. Um, and basically what I'm gonna do is go through each class and pretty much say what my opinions are on them, whether they're good or bad. Um, Again, keep in mind, guys, these are my opinions, and I'll rank them accordingly to what I believe in. Adele, definitely goes into GG. Training this class. Actually, I'm go ahead and put it in close enough. And my reasoning for that is training this class is super easy. You're pretty much holding down one button at CLP, and once you're level 255, you're holding down one button at End of the World 1-5. Super good boss. And bossing wise, she's also very strong with her burst skills. Just the one downside about her is all the micromanaging you have to do with her flying swords, her Aether, Bloom, and then all the little nip like skills you have to use just to maintain optimal DPS or whatever. And it's really micromanagey, so that's why I'm gonna put her in close enough. Angelic Buster, um, yeah, that's just a link mule. Basically, Angelic Buster super good at training. I never really got to the point of bossing with her, but one of my party members plays on it, and honestly, it's really strong. But I can't see myself playing an Angelic Buster with how few lines they hit. Like the actual like quantity number of lines per skill. They hit hard though, which is really good. And I also don't like the fact that they're gender locked and they're pink as hell. I've nothing against the color. It's just I don't know why they would release a class that's locked. It's kind of like Zero, you know. Aaron, Link Mule for the combo orbs. This class has actually been updated, I think once or twice since it was released during the Chaos patch, I believe, with Evan, and it's honestly a lot more fluid to play, in my opinion. But I think one of the downsides to this class is that you are reliant on like the whole combo system to burst, not really to burst, but like when you get the 1000 combo and your screen gets that little outline. I feel like I don't like classes that are really like super reliant on maintaining a combo, even though it's a lot easier to maintain now than it was before. And then we got Arc. Honestly, I'm kind of borderline putting it into don't even bother. Again, guys, this is my personal opinion. I know some of these might not be popular, but I don't give a fuck because it's my channel. But one of the biggest issues that I've had with Arc ever since its release was that you're kind of relying on Spectre mode to do a majority of your DPS, and then out of Spectre mode, I just hate playing the class. Like, All the skills are on micro cooldown, so like 5-10 second cooldowns, and then the main skill that's off cooldown does like 3 lines and it hits so poorly. Um, it does have a decent link skill. It gives you damage percent if you maintain DPS, which is honestly very good during bosses. Which is why I would say make it a link mule. Um, but honestly, yeah. The class is, I don't know, pretty subpar in my opinion. Even though it does a lot of damage, I don't really like the playstyle. Next is Battle Mage. Who? um, I think honestly, quite frankly, this might be one of the worst classes in the game. Now, I know a lot of people give a lot of shit to Jet, but honestly, if you've played Battle Mage, you know that this class is pretty bad. They don't have a very decent mobbing skill. In my opinion at least. And their bossing is pretty subpar too. Um, Again, these are all my opinions. I don't really like her burst skills, etc., etc. And I feel like she's just fallen behind in terms of what all the other mages have gotten. Like, even though DPM wise, yeah, sure, Bishop might be the lowest or whatever might be the lowest. It feels like such a bad class. But yeah. Next, we got Beast Tamer. That's a Link Mule. Pretty much can't see anyone ever maining this character. I can't see myself ever maining this character, I should say. Um, One of my biggest problems with her is I just feel like her kit is so unique and it's just weird. Like it's nice to have like the animals, um, but like each one kind of can do everything. So I don't know. And then it has a great link skill. So oh man, we're back here. I believe this is fire, poison, or ice lightning. I'm pretty sure this is ice lightning. Put that in don't even bother. Don't like the bossing. Has a very good farming capability. So yeah, I'm gonna say this is ice lightning. Very good farming capabilities, but yeah, the class is so weird to me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it. It has a really good link skill, but not good enough to I think to be a link mule. Blaster. Honestly, I feel like Blaster should be in close enough because the class is so strong, but it's so hard to play that I feel like for most players who are going to start off this game, it wouldn't be worth it. Or that's why I said don't even bother to play this class because it's so difficult. I can't do it. I've heard of so many things that you need to do in order to DPS efficiently, and it seems like a lot of work, especially if you're new to this game and just want to play, etc., etc. Blaze Wizard, I need one more. Sorry, add row below. Pretty sick. Um, Blaze Wizard, I think is pretty fucking sick. Um, she's gotten quite a few nerfs, I believe. I think her range used to be higher, but her skills are pretty like interesting, like shooting out the flame ball, etc., with +1 attack speed. It actually looks really cool. It's a mage with a flash jump. Honestly, I think it looks pretty fucking sick. Oh man, I think this is Buccaneer. Oh man, I need to make another class tier. Actually, wait, where did I put it? I might offend some people, but damn, I don't know. I kind of want to put it in between Link Mule and Don't Even Bother or Don't Even Bother and Who. Honestly, I think the class is such a pain to train to level 200. But then once you get to level 200, you get a skill called Lord of the Deep, I believe. It's this like blue dragon that surrounds you and it makes training such a dream. But besides that, I don't really know what the class is good for. Nobody really plays it. I got mine to level 200 and like 5, I think, and I gave up just because it was so hard for me to play. Next, Kadena. Um, Honestly, I think Kadena's pretty sick. It's a huge combo class and it takes a lot of time for people to master, but it can shell out a lot of damage if you know how to do it properly. Not to mention the animations are fucking OP. Next up, Cannoneer. Pretty fucking sick in my opinion. For those of you who don't know, the 5th job skill for Cannoneer is a fucking bullet bill that stacks up that you shoot out. Man's really got a freaking sick flash jump and vertical jump. Um, but yeah, there's really no class that plays like it, I don't think. It's pretty interesting. The link skill is pretty subpar, but that doesn't really matter because the class itself is pretty cool. It's good for training, really good at damaging, etc., etc. I believe this is Corsair. Now, if I get these wrong, feel free to correct me below, but I'm almost positive this is Corsair. Who? I'm gonna go ahead and put this in don't even bother. I I remember back in the days when Corsair had a big ass boat that was pretty fucking sick, but they removed it and now it's just like a gunslinger. It just shoots a pistol. So yeah, marksman. Go ahead and place that in who. Does so few lines, hits super hard, and has a super cool fit job skill that helps for mobbing. But honestly, I think the playstyle is just so boring and it does too few lines for me to even like appreciate. Um. All right, I need one more. Adderall. Almost made it. That's Dark Knight for me. Honestly, I think the class is super cool. The way bosses, and it's like one of the best. It's one of the better explorer warriors to train on. Um, but yeah, it's pretty average. Can't really talk like super highly about it because you know it's really just Dark Knight. Next we got Dawn Warrior. This is close enough. Honestly, guys might think I'm biased that my two main classes are close enough, but God, Dawn Warrior is such a cool class. Not only if you're like kinda in between like the weaker end, you have a burst skill that does like 2,200% damage or something, and then it lasts for like 30 seconds. Then after that, you have another skill that's just super OP, especially if you're hitting in the couple bills. Like Dawn Warrior's DPS is just absolutely insane. The mobbing is actually incredible for a warrior with the Solar Eclipse skill. And I think even like all the burst skills, River Styx and Soul Equinox are just absolutely crazy. The fact that helps mobbing and bossing in both ways. Demon Avenger, that's a Link Mule, 10% damage or something like that. It's really all I can say about Demon Avenger. But yeah, Demon Slayer almost actually Demon Slayer is pretty sick. Honestly, you summon out some demons and they come do some damage. You summon out like this little big ass snake that just like bobs its head back and forth. It's pretty sick. Honestly, it's like a super cool class to boss on because there's like actual mechanics to the actual class itself. In order to like maintain blue blood, something like that. Yeah. Dual blade, it's fucking GG, bro. This class is so strong. If you got a cooldown hat, the tornado spam is insane. The class is just overall just freaking broken. Super high DPS. It's hard to train, but one way to get around that is to just switch classes to a Night Lord and train. That's what a lot of people do. Evan, that's a Link Mule. Um, EXP, your rune, double duration. That's pretty epic. But yeah. Wait, is this Ice Lightning? Or is this Fire Poison? Shoot. Alright, I'm gonna say this is Fire Poison. Um, don't even bother. Honestly, Ice Lightning and Fire Poison aren't really that good. Um, I'm just thinking of how many people I'm gonna offend with this tier list. Hayato almost made it. Class is hit so hard, super strong, but really it's kind of underwhelming. In my opinion, of like all the fifth job skills, etc., etc. Again, these are my personal opinions. If you're gonna attack anyone, please attack me. What is this? Hero? I think. Where's Paladin? I think this is Pally, and this is Hero. I'll say this is Hero. This class is fucking GG, bro. If you ever play this class, 200+% final damage. It's insane. He's getting more lines, has super OP burst skills. It's pretty fucking epic, to be honest. And next is Ho Young. Honestly, Ho Young almost made it. Has a sick link skill, especially for the people who are weaker and need help. I think the skill gives like 12% damage to mobs at full HP. So If you're like a weaker class, shit's actually broken. Sorry, I had to cough. I know some of y'all don't like me coughing into the mic, so go ahead and mute myself for that. Honestly, if this class didn't have so many skills, it'd be pretty sick, but it almost made it. Has super high DPS. It is a combo class though that uses a ton of skills and it's pretty micromanagey. But yeah, Link skill. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Bishop this is GG, bro. Bishop as itself has like a solo bosser in terms of DPS is pretty, subpar. But if y'all got a 70k stat Bishop with a weapon jump ring level 4, you know about that benediction. That's all I gotta say. Ilium, who honestly the class looks super cool, super interesting, but it's so freaking clunky that I think it's kind of hard to play. Jet, don't even bother. Class is so weak, so subpar. The Link skill's okay, but you do have to spend money for it, so it's like GG. Kaiser's the next class I'm gonna say is pretty fucking sick. Fit job skills are OP. I don't know if they're OP, but they're super cool. The fact that you can summon more Kaisers and shit, and it just does damage all across the map. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about it. Kana almost fucking made it. Honestly, this class is like went from being a fucking Kishin mule to being a decent class to farm mesos on, becoming a really good class to farm mesos on. Now it's like a class that you can farm on and just happens to have an insane party buff, so it almost made it. It also has a sick Link skill. Kinesis, I believe the Link skill is a percent crit damage. I might be wrong. Percent crit damage sounds right though, so if that's the case, it's a Link mule. Lumi, oh man, that's a Link mule. For those of you who don't know, Lumi is what used to be like insane at mobbing back when you could just spam reflection. But now that we have the system changed and you actually have to like switch the types of skills you're using, it went down in my opinion, but it still has a decent IED Link skill, so use that. Believe this is Bowmaster. Almost made it. Honestly, it has pretty nice burst skills. The class itself is pretty fun to play. I just don't really like how like sometimes. Actually, no, I can't really say anything bad about it. I just don't think it's like anything, outstanding. Mechanic, don't even bother. You can get it for the Legion card that gives you 15% buff duration and the resistance link, but honestly the class is pretty decent at farming, but it doesn't really stand out to me in any way. Mercedes. This class is pretty fucking sick. There's a guy on YouTube, his YouTube channel is Bread. His Mercedes' IGN is called Seki. If you watch his hard Lucid solo, it's actually one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. In terms of his control and the movements, it's so fluid. Not to mention Urkala's Wrath is freaking insane. Mihao, honestly, is a fucking, I don't even know. I feel like should be almost made it. I think I'm gonna put him as almost made it. Definitely above Hayato. This class has such a good party buffs, but it's like Dawn Warrior, but worse. They have the same like River Styx skill look, but it's a lot more like defensive. It's like what you think about when you think about a warrior. It's like a heavy tank, and this guy kind of does that for the party, which is why yeah. Night Lord, honestly, I'd be stretched to call them pretty sick, but they're close enough. They do so much damage, and especially with their shuriken, I fucking love the animation that this class has in the burst. Yeah, it's been a while since like I mained mine, but honestly the class is super beginner friendly, I think, if you can get past like the early levels from like 0 to 200. Nightwalker, that's GG. This class is insane. You're getting a new fifth job skill, and the fact that Actually, yeah, I'll leave him in. No, 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 no. Close enough. Close enough. You have like a super cool like DPS like method where like, you jump attack, which a lot of people don't like because you have to sticky keys your keyboard. But the class looks so cool. Like color scheme, like purple, I think is pretty epic, and they get a sick fifth job skill in the coming patches. Paladin, don't even bother honestly. Paladin's like so close, but he couldn't make it. Super tanky, okay to train. Better than hero, but it doesn't really do the same DPS to like match up for it. Pathfinder almost made it. Honestly, I think if Pathfinder had like some more interesting skills, like for the most part, it's just shooting out that thing, it would definitely place higher. But it's like I don't know, nothing really about it screams like the animations aren't very good. The damage DPS is like okay, and you also have to macro some of your skills. Phantom, honestly, I want to place it higher than Don't Even Bother because honestly, Phantom does have some insane DPS if you can fund it. It's just most people can't fund it to the level it needs to be to do that insane DPS. But it does have a very good link skill at 10% crit. Also gives a very good Legion board effect at with the mesos obtained. So it's pretty good all around. People hate on this class, but you can steal skills, and that's pretty sick. Shade, oh man, almost made it too. I loved Shade on release. The fact that you control spirits and you have a soul split, a skill that literally splits your fucking boss or whatever into two, and you can hit both of them and deal like a ton more damage. It's actually insane. Um, but I hate how the class needs to have +1 attack speed in her ability. And that's pretty much the same with Zenon, right? Without it, the class attack's so slow it's like almost unbearable to play. Um, but yeah, that's why he's almost made it and didn't make it yet. Next, Thunderbreaker. Honestly, oh man, I wouldn't bother with it. It has like a really nice combo like system, but honestly, the class is pretty underwhelming in my opinion. Wild Hunter, don't even bother. Do it for the resistance link, but yeah, that's pretty much all I really got to say about it. Wind Archer is pretty fucking sick, to be honest. You get like stand still and you have a whole bunch of shit flying out of you. You can summon a tornado, etc., etc. It's kind of epic, but I think um, this class, yeah, no, I can't really say much. It doesn't really have that good of a link skill, but I think as a class as a whole, it's pretty strong. Zenon almost made it. Honestly, I think there's a lot of flaws with Zenon. Sometimes the hypogram skill bugs out. Sometimes, your burst skill glitches if you lag spike, which you can't really control. But it has a lot of summon skills and is super good for training and farming, especially if you're lazy, which is why he's almost made it. Zero is fucking close enough. A lot of people don't like this class because the combo is really weird, but he's getting more damage lines soon, and honestly, the playstyle of this character is pretty fucking sick. Um, you go around switching back and forth between more or less yourself, your like sibling or whatever, to do damage, and then the fifth job skills are pretty insane. Training is insane too. You're super mobile. In some bosses, this mobility kind of backfires, but yeah. Last but not least, Shadower. Oh man, I want to say almost made it. Honestly, it plays super well. I just, you never really hear much about it because it's kind of like overshadowed by Dual Blade, but the skills are interesting. Can't really talk too much about it because I never like played it super in depth, but yeah. That's pretty much gonna conclude it for my Maplestory tier list. Again, completely my opinion. You can disagree, agree. Let me know down in the comment section below if you feel strongly about something. But this is my tier list. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so sorry for the lack of content, but I hope to see you all next time. And as always, happy mapling. Peace.